Okay. What's up, guys? You guys had to wait for a brief little while, but here we are. थोड़ा इंतजार करना पड़ा आपको लेकिन आज बैकएंड पे शायद थोड़ा सा हमें इशू हुआ बट हियर वी आर मीटिंग ईच अदर to ensure that all the effort that you have put in over the last few months in clearing the written exam, the heart and the soul that you put in there, that does not go waste, and that you are able to finally get selected into the colleges by acing whatever the college throws at you subsequently. So, once again, I welcome you to India's largest online test prep platform called Gradeup. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss out on a single such high quality session that we create for you and that we bring for you. And if you press the bell icon, that will ensure that you'd get to know whenever we are live. तो आप एक भी हाई क्वालिटी सेशन हमारा मिस आउट नहीं करेंगे. हाँ, सो अगर आप ऐप पे देख रहे हैं तो प्लीज यूज द चैट बॉक्स टू टेल मी वट एवर इट इज दैट यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट. If you are on YouTube watching this session, do let me know in the comment box down below if you have any question, if you have any specific concern, and I would be more than happy to help you. I am Vikrant and I am going to be your host for the day. और आज हम बात करेंगे कि किस तरह से आप अब रिटन एग्जाम के बाद आगे की स्ट्रेटजी बना सकते हैं so that you go on to become absolutely sensationally successful in the subsequent rounds. So, any question, any doubt, any concern? Is there anything that you want to talk about? If yes, do use the chat box or the comment box, and we'll go ahead and interact with each other using those platforms, using those for us. आइए तो चलिए शुरुआत की जाए. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, we are running this February Mela that leads to immense benefits to each one of you. In fact, I mean, come to think of it, you'd be able to prepare for the CAT at a historically low prices. Now, come to think of it, look at this 12-month subscription of Gradeup Super, where the pricing, the net pricing, even when you pay using EMIs, is 14,401. I remember when I prepared for MBA entrance exams years and years and years ago, I paid 16,000 rupees as my tuition fees, you know. तो और वो भी लमसम, इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में ज्यादा था. तो यार सोचो यार, एंड देन इफ यू आर समबडी हु इज प्लानिंग टू राइट the CAT next year, you can opt for an 18-month subscription, and even there you'd end up paying peanuts really for the kind of high quality preparation that we bring it to you. And let me quickly tell you about myself. I'm Vikrant Kathuria. I have been helping students prepare for the MBA entrance exams for 20 years. And during these 20 years, I think I've coached thousands of people for the written exam. I think another thousands of students would be studying in IIMs and the other prestigious exams because I contributed towards their GD and interview preparation. Additionally, I am a psychology postgrad. So I know the kind of things that interviewers really look for in people and how to exactly communicate those things when you're participating in the interview. I have also learned neuro-linguistic programming. I have been on the recruitment panels of certain organizations in the past where I went out and recruited people on their behalf. So I plan to bring all that expertise that I've gathered over the course of last 2 decades to ensure that you get selected. Unite with absolutely Unite Vlogs. That's I think a lot of vloggers are joining us nowadays. We definitely help you for CET, GD-PI as well. I mean, per se, their GD-PI process is not vastly different from other processes, and we definitely be able to help you with that. And at Gradeup, we have created a very special and a very exhaustive curriculum for you. This curriculum, of course, includes the preparation of VAT, or the writing ability test, which is a very fancy name for essay writing. It includes group discussions, it includes personal interviews, but then it does not stop there. हम यहाँ पे रुकते नहीं हैं because we know that there are many more things that B schools here and there test you on, and we are committed to ensuring that you go on to prepare very exhaustively. So for example, there are colleges that put you through a group task or a group exercise. We'll prepare you for that. There are colleges, including in fact IIM Ahmedabad's AWT is heavily inspired by case studies, so we'd go ahead and talk about case studies. Then some colleges like FMS put you through an extempore. And then of course in all these colleges you may also need to go ahead and build a nice, effective, impactful CV. So the course will focus on each one of these aspects and will help you acquiring each one of these things very, very thoroughly. So can there be a comprehensive way to prepare for all these? Absolutely yes. All that you need to do is become a super gradian. Just opt for a Gradeup super membership, attend all your classes, go through all the activities that the faculty members advise you to go through, and you'll be all set. You won't have to look at different places and figure out what to do from where. So Gradeup is your one-stop shop for anything and everything that is related to MBA. And not only that, you'd actually be working with some of the best faculty members that the industry has available in the country at the moment. So in case you are enjoying the session, if you think all this is useful, just press the like button and show some love. Now, talking about your preparation, of course, you need to start your preparation about GDs and interviews. So what is it that you are supposed to work on? वो कौन सी चीजें हैं जिस पे तुमको काम करना है? अब ये ना, it depends on two things. Number one, it depends on the calls that you have, because different colleges may have different things in their selection process. They may emphasize on some facets over some other facets. And then the second thing would be your own analysis of your skill set. आपको क्या लगता है आपके लिए कौन सी चीज है जो थोड़ा ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई सी पीपल हु कम एंड टेल मी दैट माई कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स रिक्वायर वर्क. There are people who come and tell me that, my academics are not that great, so how would I handle those questions in the interview? Then there are people who say that, yaar, mera goal clarity wale mein problem hai. When people ask me about why MBA, I have no idea. Or when you are put into a forum like a group discussion, you may hesitate talking in public. So it all depends on the areas that you have gone on to identify for yourself that enable you or that will allow you to perform exceedingly well. And in case something pops into your mind later, अभी हो सकता है यार अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं आपके ध्यान में कुछ ना आए, लेकिन ऐसा हो सकता है ना सेशन खत्म हो और खत्म होने के बाद आपको याद आए, हो यार ये चीज पूछनी थी, तो कैसे पूछेंगे? So we have a Telegram group for such concerns, for such queries. It's a two-way communication where you get to talk to the faculty members directly. My team has already shared the link for that in the comment box. You notice that t.me join chat group? Just click on that link if you're using your phone and you already have the Telegram app installed, and it'll straight away take you to the group. Look at the bottom, click join, and you can start interacting with us even later. So by and large, it all depends on your unique abilities. And when do B schools start with this particular process? When are you going to have your PIs, your GDs, your VATs, your AWTs, your GEs? Typically, the selection process begins in the third week of February. And it usually for the premier colleges will go on to around mid-April. And in some of these other colleges, it actually gets extended too. And we are living in the COVID times, so there are quite a few of uncertainties as well. So this timeline may get extended, but for every serious candidate, when your calendar says 14th February. Then you need to be ready with the proposal to your loved one on the Valentine Day and the proposal to a B school convincing them why they should select you. तो दो प्रपोजल है ना, एक जिसमें कोई तुम्हें अपना पार्टनर बना ले और दूसरा प्रपोजल कॉलेज वालों के लिए जिसमें वो तुम्हें एडमिशन दे दे. तो आइडियली 14 फरवरी तक ये कॉन्फिडेंस क्रिएट करना जरूरी है, और अगर नहीं हुआ तो बॉस आज से ही शुरू कर दो तैयारी. तो अब इसमें कुछ कुछ FAQs है ना, कुछ कुछ लोग अलग अलग तरह की चीजें हमसे पूछते रहते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वन कंसर्न दैट प्लेंटी ऑफ पीपल हैव इज हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इज द एकेडमिक बैकग्राउंड. भाई मैंने जो, और पता है वो प्राइमरी कंसर्न क्या होता है, मैं समझ सकता हूँ यार. हमने 10th में 12th में जो भी कुछ किया वो एक तरह से हमारे पुराने पाप हो गए है ना. 10th 12th ग्रेजुएशन, तो उसके मार्क्स कितना अफेक्ट करेंगे आपको यार, ये ना डिपेंड करता है कि आप किस कॉलेज में अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट लेट अस से IIM अहमदाबाद. So when we look at the final selection criteria, then we realize that when it comes to the CAT exam, IMA gives around 25% weightage to that. Then the score of your 10th, your 12th, your grad, all of these three combined, they are given roughly around 15% weightage. Whereas the interview alone, my God, the interview alone is given close to 50% weightage in IIM Ahmedabad. Now, if you start totaling it, this comes out to be around 90%. So where are these other 10%? The other 10% are given to your performance in the AWT, the analytical writing section, or it's a fancier version or slightly different version of VAT. On the other hand, if I talk about, let us say, a college like FMS, then FMS would on the other hand give 50% weightage to the CAT score. It gives 10% each to your 10th and 12th. There is no weightage explicitly granted to your performance in graduation, but there are roughly around 25% allocated to your interview, and then they have an extempore, remember. So there are around 5% that depend on that. So frankly speaking, it would depend on the college. There are some colleges where the weightage given to such things is very high, and then there are colleges where the weightage given to, so as far as graduation marks go, for example, FMS does not give much weightage to it. IIM Bangalore does not give much weightage to it. They'd rather look at your 10th and 12th performance. On the other hand, if I talk about IIM Calcutta will not IIM Calcutta will not even look at that performance really. They'd rather focus on your work experience, etc. And they generally tend to ignore your 10th, 12th and your grad. And a lot of weightage is given to your CAT score and your interview and a bit to your work experience, if any. So those are the kind of things that will matter more. IIM Kozhikode does not look at your academics. Jamnalal Bajaj does not give much weightage to your academics, right? So it all subsequently depend on which kind of college you apply to. But the key thing here is that your academic performance is in the past now. That's history. So do not bother about that much. अब उसका कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Right now we should focus on things that we can influence, and in the subsequent rounds you'd realize that most of the places it is the interview that goes on to get inordinately high amounts of say in your final selection. So go all out and ensure that you perform to the best of your ability today under expert guidance, and that will ensure that you are able to overcome the shortcoming in your academic background, if any. If your ACADS are already fabulous, you still need to realize that your performance in the interviews will count for a lot, and therefore you need to go ahead and start performing well in the interview for sure. Okay, so is ACADS important? Yes, It can help you in getting selected, but is a lack of really sound, really amazing score a deal breaker when it comes to graduation? No, it is not a deal breaker. They may ask you about low scores in the interview, but then we'll tell you how you can handle those questions with aplomb. Another question that we at times get asked is GK needed? My unambiguous answer to this question is yes. When it comes to an interview, you may get asked questions of a lot of different varieties. बहुत अलग अलग तरह के सवाल हैं जो आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप फ्रेशर हैं तो आपको पता है कि आपसे एकेड्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे. अगर आप वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल हैं या यू हैव वर्कड इन द पास्ट, दे आर गोइंग टू आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन work experience. Then you know that there are questions that are designed to test your goal clarity, why MBA and all that. You have questions that are designed to get into your personality, right? Your strengths, weaknesses, values, likes, dislikes. Or isi kadi mein you have these questions that are based on GK, contextual GK, and GA, current affairs, general awareness. So for example, this Saturday we had a huge momentous occasion. Economic Survey of India got released for the year. So if you are being interviewed around that time, you are supposed to know about economic survey. You're supposed to know about budget. You're supposed to know about the farmers issue. You're supposed to know about COVID-19 related things and the vaccines that are approved in India and the work from home things. All of those areas, yes. Now, it does not mean that you need to go all out and that you need to know everything in the domain of GK. No, but most of the major events that are unfolding in the world around you at the moment, please make sure that you know them. Contextual GK, which is unique to you, which is specific to you, information about the city that you belong to, information about the colleges that you have studied at, knowledge of the kind of things that your parents and your siblings are engaged in. Those kind of things are definitely important. So some aspects of GK are very important. Some aspects of GK, especially static GK, they are not that important. But is it needed on the whole? Yes. If you have sound GK, this does give you some edge. This does give you some advantage. Right? And at the same time, if you have any questions, please make sure that you use the chat box or the comment box, depending upon whether you are on the app or the YouTube channel of ours. And make sure that you keep firing, keep sending your questions my way. So now that you know what all you need to do, you still want to know when to start. So often whenever somebody asks me this question, my standard answer is today. When to start? You should start today. It is never too early to start. It is never too late to start. Even if a CAT 23 aspirant were to ask me when to start, my answer even for that person will be today. Anybody who has reached the 6th standard and above in school, my answer to each one of those guys is when to start? Today, because we know that there are a lot of areas, that there are a lot of things, especially things in profile, that can benefit from your starting early, that benefit from your starting well in advance. So don't delay it. Okay, Anirudh has a question. You've got a call from SIOM Nashik. Is it worth joining? Now, Anirudh, it's actually a question that it'll be unfair of me to answer it in a public forum. Is SIOM a decent college? Yes. Are there colleges that are better than SIOM? Yes. But then if you join SIOM and you let go of some of those other colleges which are usually higher ranked, not that SIOM is bad, it's definitely a good college. It's just that there are some colleges which are better even for operations. So if you join SIOM in that in that light, uh, in a way you'd be compromising. So the question is there something in your profile? Is there something in your unique context that suggests that it is going to be a great fit for you? And that is best done one-on-one. So do get in touch with us later. And if we feel and if you feel that there are factors that compel you to join it this year, then we can definitely consider it. Otherwise, we would ideally like to go ahead and maybe give it another shot. Okay. So start today. I don't even need to tell you this, right? Uh, so we are coming up with a new batch that helps you prepare for the forthcoming GD interviews. Here are some of the details of this batch. In the basic module, you'd get at least 16 live classes. In my experience, you'd usually end up getting even more. And then there is a mock PI module. Now that mock PI, we like to customize it for the college that you have received the call from. So how many mock interviews will you have? Well, that depends on the number of calls that you have and the difference in the interviews of those colleges. And that also depends on your performance in the previous mocks, and on top of that, the faculty members' assessment. So if the faculty members feel that you need to go ahead and go through some more PIs, or if your performance suggests that you need to go through more PIs, or if the colleges that you had a call from, those colleges have different approach in their personal interviews, then you would obviously have very many mock PIs. And here is a lot of detail on your screen for the course. तो इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. आप I'll just quickly run you through. Obviously, you would like to know a lot about VAT. You'd like to know about how to prepare for personal interviews, then group interviews, writing an SOP, GD, tricky questions of personal interviews, case studies. There are multiple sessions, right? Then specifically, what if a lot of people apply to colleges where they want to get into a marketing or finance specialization. So what kind of knowledge do they need to have, and what sort of questions they need to be ready for? Extemporaries. In fact, a lot of people say that extempore is asked only in FMS. So do we actually need to prepare for it? But the truth is, and I hope you'd agree with me here, the truth is that the entire interview in a way is an extempore, isn't it? पूरे का पूरा इंटरव्यू है तो एक्सटेम्परी ना. एक क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं और तुमको तभी की तभी उस क्वेश्चन को सोच के उसका आंसर देना है. So if you become better at extempore, in a way you are going to become better at the entire interview. And then more and more sessions that cover or that go ahead and talk about some specific aspects of the interviews. ये कुछ में आप वो देख रहे हैं, ये यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं MyCat specific things. So we actually take you through a thematic apperception test. We take you through a picture association test, right? And then finally you have this resume writing, or how to go ahead and build this up. So a lot of detail, very exhaustive coverage. And once you go through this, I doubt if you'd have any question, any concern that will be left unanswered. और इसमें आपकी help करेंगे कौन? These people. So you notice we have this legendary teacher and mentor par excellence called Savitri ma'am. Then we have Krishnendu Datta, or as we fondly call him, KD. He also happens to be a lawyer by training. So you can imagine the kind of insights that he brings in. Then we have Sanujam Singh, a veteran in the industry, and most of the people know him very well. Vikrant, that's me, of course. I've been helping people for a long time. And Vijay. Vijay is practically a mentor to a lot of us. It says 15 plus years of experience, but Vijay has been in the industry for close to 24 years now, where he has contributed immensely to the development of the curriculum at some of the leading institutes and now at Gradeup. And apart from that, of course, he's also been helping people with personal interviews, CV guidance, helping them build statement of purpose. So I think you would be actually working with a very stellar team which has very rich experience and a very successful, credible experience of helping people convert their dreams into realities. So we have seen these, we've seen these things inside out, and we definitely be able to help you out with these, right? And if you take the subscription of Gradeup Super, then what really happens is that Super subscription basically allows you to use the Gradeup platform for everything of a particular category, right? So you'd obviously be able to prepare for group discussions and interview programs. But apart from that, there are a lot of college specific things that happen. There are a lot of exam specific things that keep on happening, and you no longer have to worry about taking separate courses or separate subscriptions. If you still have any doubt, any ambiguity, any confusion, you just need to give a call to this number that is there on your screen, and you can talk to our counselors and they'll help take care of all your concerns. And not to mention that we are at that phase, we are at that stage where this course is being made available at the lowest price ever. So even at Gradeup, we have not offered it for this lower price. And on top of that, there are a lot of interesting, this Feb Mela actually ensures that you get it for significantly less than that, and that you're also able to pay in installments. And you would get this subscription apart from GD interview program. It gives you access to more than 300 live sessions, more than 80 mock tests and section tests. You get notes after every class. You'd, apart from that, outside those mocks, etc., you'd be put through almost 7,000 practice questions as well, right? So in case you are preparing only for those exams which we are still left with, for example, CMAT, Maharashtra CET, or you need help, you need inputs on GD interviews, in that case, you can actually go ahead and take a 3-month subscription, which will cover all these things. In case you are planning to write the exam subsequently, which will happen in 21 around October, you can take a 12-month subscription, but the subscription that I'd highly recommend is the 18-month one, because then for the next 18 months, you know that every aspect, every element of your preparation is covered. And have a look at some of the people who are going to teach you. So we have Pranav, Jatin, Vikas, Vijay, Ashish. These 5 people generally go ahead and take care of the quant and the DI and the reasoning part. Savitri ma'am is going to help you with VA and RC. Vijay can also contribute in that area. Then you have Sanujam, VRC, Anant, who teaches quant, Ajay Sareen, quant. Most of these people are very well-known names in the industry. Then you have Tapesh. Then of course you have Vikrant. And you also have Saral and Anurag. So it is a stellar star cast. These are some of the elitest names in the CAT test prep industry in our country. And if you take up the subscription, you actually get to work with these people directly, right? So all the best for your future endeavor. If you like this session, then give it a like. A like is going to be absolutely golden. And that's what we had brought for you today. If you have any other question, if you have any other concern, please do not hesitate in getting in touch with our counselors. The numbers are there on the slide. You can also join our Telegram group. The link is already in the comment box. You can use that link and make sure that you are a part of a very vibrant community, a very vibrant group where you can ask the faculty members questions directly even later, right? So that's it from me today. Hope that you'd have a great time later. Do consider starting your preparation at the earliest. No delays. Start today. And the GD-PI batch has been started today. And the classes are going to happen at 6 p.m. every day except on Saturdays and Sundays where they happen at 7 p.m. So if you have received terrific percentiles and you're thinking of starting your preparation now, today is a terrific day. So that's it from me for the day. Take care. I look forward to meeting you in our next session soon. Enjoy.